Was there something in my walk, how I talk, giving off the wrong energy? Was there something in my stride, too much pride, telling you to back down? Slowly, slowly you became my enemy. But you can't seem to get enough of me. So if this is the last time, I guess I better make it worthwhile. Yeah, if this is the last time, I guess I better give it my all. So if this is the last time, I guess I better make it worthwhile. Yeah, if this is the last time, I guess I better give it my all. Was there something in my walk, how I talk, giving off the wrong energy? Was there something in my stride, too much pride, telling you to back down? Slowly, slowly you became my enemy. But you can't seem to get enough of me.
Wyatt Tinsley sends it to the outside. He can't get there. Kevin King is going to win the Barr FTF Cup Series.
Into the lead. Bud gets wrecked in front of the pack. He saves it. 3-4 wide as they come to the white flag.
Here comes Vargas down on the apron. They are 5 wide. Ian Plash will win it at the line. Is this package? Oh, there goes Jordy Lopez Jr. That's your race leader. Caution flag is out.
Still no one willing to give up as they are going to be dead even off of the first chicane.
Oh, he saves it. What's going to happen here? Here comes the canvas. Oh, the canvas sends him. Get your front there.
He's got it. He's got it.
Canvas is in.
The Barr FTF Cup Series welcomes you to the virtual Homestead Miami Speedway in Miami, Florida. It's the KSDT 400K, part of the playoffs for the Barr FTF Cup Series, and at the end of tonight, 4 drivers will be going home and will not have a shot to fight for the championship. Jacob Pitt, Sean Butler with you, Zach Johnson, our producer for tonight. 4 drivers going to go home at the end of the night, Sean, and Matthew Zwack is going to be one of them. We know that for sure because he's not here.
Yeah, I mean, the Arizona Diamondbacks might be going home as well after this. We'll know.
Well, they are home.
Well, yeah, but afterwards. But we'll know with your updates. But that is very important for the playoff run. You know, Matthew Zwack, again, technically still with a shot. He was 89 points back coming into tonight's race. He theoretically still had a chance, but I don't know, maybe he felt that he didn't and had other obligations. We never know with, stuff going on today, and that's perfectly fine. So a couple drivers still theoretically with a shot that are here. Michael P. Frisch and Wyatt Tinsley, 32 points out of the cut line, and Kevin McAdams has a daunting task ahead of him. He is 92 points out. So you see on the graphic on the left-hand side of your screen. So Zwack theoretically eliminated already. Kevin McAdams pretty much in a must-win situation today. So we'll see just who can clutch up and advance to the Final Four.
Now, Brian Mercurio, let's bring that graphic back. Brian Mercurio is in an interesting spot here.
Oh, God,
Chris Wetz. Wow. So Mercurio is 79 points above the cut line. You would think that would be good, but our scoring is different here in FTF. He's not here tonight.
Right.
So the most points he'll get is 41 for the last place provisional. So Mercurio really runs the risk of falling out tonight.
That is very true. And I don't know. I guess maybe he has other obligations. We never know. Everyone has their reasons for missing these races, Jacob, especially when there's such a prestigious championship on the line, such as the Barr Visuals FTF Cup Series title. But we're going to see who it comes down to, man. Like you were saying, we're going to narrow it down to a Final Four. Who can punch their way to the Final Four? And who's going to win? Who's going to go home? Who's going to make it? So a lot of those questions will be answered by the end of this thing.
Wyatt Tinsley may not make it to the grid, at least. He fell out with his internet right before we were about to kick the server forward to advance to the grid. He just connected as Malillo hit the button to advance us to the next session. So we'll see if he is able to make it in time. Let's take a look at our starting grid. Wyatt is our pole sitter tonight. Parker White lines up on the outside. Daniel Falkingham and Kevin King are in row number 2. Brandon Hawken and Blake Reynolds in row 3. Malik Ray, Michael Guest, Kane Cook, Austin Johnson round out the top 10.
And 11th is Lawson Peel. He will line up inside of row number 6. Michael P. Frisch to the outside of him, another one of our playoff drivers on the bubble. Nate Stewart, Kevin McAdams. Again, we mentioned Kevin has a daunting task ahead of him to make the cut line. He will roll off in 14th. Jonathan Oates, Jonathan Oshalem, a row of Jonathans in row 8. Row 9, Chris Wetz, who we saw just annihilate the pit wall there a few minutes ago. He'll roll off at 17th. River Page, 18th. And Jacob Daniel Botafuco, Sander Nyhoff will round out row 10.
Tough start there for Botafuco, one of our playoff drivers. He's starting back there in row 10. Jack Mace, Justin Lisenby in row 11. David L. Brown and David Cabrera back there in row 12. Josh Chin still holding down the 53. Brett Punkari to the outside. Matt Spalding, Omar Diallo. Timu Toinka and Alex Kolonix round out the top 30.
31st, Graham Boland coming from deep in the field tonight. Devin Mistack alongside him. Joseph Armstrong, Philip McCandless. Scott Rickard, Josh Stoltz in row number 16. Scotty Smith, Art Reimer, Paul Mikolajczyk, and Seth Knoll will round out the front 40.
And your remaining drivers that got in, they include Jonathan Goke, Kazman Yoneshu, Ryan Naraki, and Nathan Rabideau. Now, asleep at the wheel, you notice the gap there behind Brandon Hawken. Malik Ray didn't go. So now he held up most of the inside line, and here comes Malik trying to catch up. Kane Cook had nowhere to go as Nathan Rabideau just left the pit lane, and now we have extended the caution flag.
I don't know why we don't do this
pacing
already. Oh, Nathan.
Because, yeah, there's Rabideau. He was the last guy there, and Malik Ray caused all of this. So we have to now pace one more time. 167 laps are up on the board tonight. And, Sean, why don't you break down what we're going to see?
Well, we're going to see a lot of single-file racing here at Homestead. First off, look at that track temperature, 126 degrees. That is toasty for track temperatures. For, I guess, comparison, the Firecracker 400 way back in July had 121, 122 track temperatures, so that's a little bit of a comparison there. But expect a lot of the guys at the front to save tires running that bottom. We're going to be saying it ad nauseum at this track, especially in iRacing. Tire conservation, very important, especially how you get off the corners. So a lot of these guys are going to save the right front and the right rear, run to the bottom. You'll see a few jumping out to the wall, rim riding around this racetrack. Very fun to do in this car, using that wall arrow to your advantage. But that will wear your tires out excessively, and it's good for the short run, not for the long run. And pretty much the middle lane non-existent. You won't see a lot of guys running this middle lane, so it's either going to be by the wall or by the white line. So we'll see who takes what line, but should be interesting to see who can keep the tires on it for the longest as we get ready to kick off racing here at Homestead, Jim.
Phillies lead 2-0 at the top of the fifth. Meanwhile, Wyatt Tinsley leads us down. We're racing at Homestead. Oh, trouble in the wall off turn 4. Armstrong is in it. Another car back there. The 146 of Teemu Toika. Caution's out for the first time.
Ryan Araki stopped there with him as well. Seth Knowles already complaining about the setup, so that's lap 1 into it, so really good start.
A lot of layers to this crash. Jonathan Oshalem is where this all starts. He drifts up into the wall. That stacks everybody up. And then the 146 catches the apron and comes up into the 20 of Armstrong, and it's on.
It is late where Teemu is, so he's all the way over in Finland, so he might be a little tired over there, but that's a joke. He really never is. He's firmly on American time over there. But I don't know. That's one of those deals where I've never really seen a car react like that on the apron. Usually if you clip it, it'll get a little bit loose and you got to catch it, but looks like Teemu just kind of overcorrected there and everyone else really had nowhere to go. So interesting wreck to start this thing. And pit road is fairly busy. Malik Ray appears to be the only one on pit road, but there's a few behind him coming in as well.
Most of those drivers at the back of the field. So Teemu Toika gets a drive-through penalty for it being a first lap crash, and we have 2 more attempts before we go single file. And that would absolutely ruin this race if we have to restart single file after 15 laps.
Well, you just want to get back to watching the Phillies game, Jacob. So you want to see this race go green all the way. So I understand where you're coming from.
Maybe we can end this game before inevitably Craig Kimbrell comes out and blows another game.
Okay.
How much will it cost to get what's his face, Diaz?
Edwin Diaz.
Yeah. Between him and the trumpet, how much will that cost to bring him down?
Give them Kyle Schwarber.
Deal.
And who else do the Mets need? They need a right fielder.
Well,
I don't want them to have Nick Castellanos, though. You guys can keep him.
Yeah, good.
By the way, no. Well, actually, they actually need pitching, so I don't know. Give us Zach Wheeler back, and we'll think about it.
That won't happen. Sorry. Your best chance might be getting Nola in the offseason as a free agent.
Oh, man. By the way, we see everybody in the chat on Twitch. Appreciate y'all being here. Trisha, you're here every week, so we appreciate you being here, chatting it up with everybody. They say Craig Kimbrell equals GOAT. I don't know about that. I don't think.
Maybe 10 years ago.
I don't know about 10 years ago even, but, you know, he was good. Let's not overinflate his value here. They're saying the Cubs want Schwarber back. Yeah, I'm sure they do. Why did they get rid of him again? I'm not aware.
I don't remember.
All right, they're going to be choosing in turn 1, I believe. So the choose line is, I believe, the apron going into turn 1, the white line. So you'll see him ducking and dodging all around that line. Here, we're coming up on it.
Go.
There it is.
Taking the road course is Parker White.
Speaking of the Homestead Road Course, FTF GNS is coming back, and that'll be on Monday nights. So it's the Xfinity Series pretty much for the FTF Cup Series talent. I don't want to say the best of the rest, but
did the Homestead Road Course make it on the schedule?
It did last time it was there. It had a lot of goofy tracks on the schedule, so who knows? Maybe we'll see a lot of wacky races in this one.
That schedule was put somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. Because I know it was released, or at least a tentative one. Let's see.
All right, we're going to have to hold that thought, Jacob. We're going back racing here at Homestead.
That we are.
Right here in Miami-Dade County.
Here we go. Parker White and Wyatt Tinsley lead us down. Green flag.
Good restart from Wyatt. Not from Wyatt, from Parker.
I know you.
I know who you are. Michael Guest, I was mentioning this is going to be a top or bottom fest of a race, and Guest running right along that wall there. Pretty much the only one doing it right now. You see a couple of other guys behind him as we're going to hop on board. Watch how close he gets to this wall if he chooses to go there. It looks like he's not. But I would like to see some onboards similar to this from guys running that wall just to see how close they get to it. He's getting pinched right now by Daniel Falkian, but we are 4 wide off of 4 back here.
That was dicey, but somehow they made it work. They're still 4 wide. Chris Wett's going up the middle. Oy.
Malik is right there. He's going to cut his way through this field for sure. It's almost as if Homestead provides multiple lanes in the corners, but then everything just funnels out of every corner. Here's Kevin King. Look at how close he gets to this wall, giving himself a little space. Oh, this is Sander Nyhoff. My apologies. I thought that said the team on the hood there. My apologies, Sander. But he's running the very top of the racetrack, and in 3 and 4 going to do it. 1 and 2 going to dive to the bottom. That was close.
Meanwhile, Kevin King, just talked about him. He's going to take second away from Wyatt Tinsley.
The actual Kevin
Right
King.
on board with Jonathan Oates. Yep. There's Kevin King, and now he's again passed by Wyatt Tinsley, and here comes Falkingham to the outside.
And another one running the wall back there in 3 and 4. You saw Lawson Peel in that black car up there. Malik Ray, he is just making dicey moves. You saw him barely on your screen, just dive underneath Chris Wett's 3 wide going into turn 1. A couple guys running the wall back there. You saw the 115, Sander Nyhoff running up there. You saw Lawson Peel running up there. So I'm going to be paying close attention to those guys running the wall and seeing just how much their tire wear is affected. You see Nate Stewart. He is in that car this week. Omar Diallo is in that car last week running that middle lane. So they do have a couple of options, Jacob, at the early part of this run.
That they do. We have a long way to go here from Homestead.
And in Arizona.
Yeah, they're the bottom of the 5th. Wheeler gets another strikeout, 67 pitches so far. 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. End of stage 1 comes at the end of lap 40. So we go 40, 80, and then 167. Your stages for tonight.
Going pretty much single file for the first 12 spots. First battle on the track is the 124 of River Page and Austin Johnson. They were going at it. River Page apparently upset at somebody and said, "Nice driving, stinky head," over the race chat. So apologize for the vulgar language. There's Malik Ray throwing it underneath Austin Johnson there in a turn 3.
Disgusting act by River Page.
Disgusting act by River. We apologize to everybody viewing out there.
So Malik trying to get himself back into the top 15 after pitting from the opening lap spin. Up to 14th right now, getting by Austin Johnson.
See how loose that car is, just how much it's moving around in the corners. Malik diving underneath Lawson Peel and Kane Cook, it appears here. Well, Kane's just ahead of them, so that's Lawson Peel and River Page. It's tough to make passes on the bottom, especially early on in the runs here. You'll see Lawson Peel running that very top lane, going to get a great run off the corner and maybe be able to clear both of them, and he will. River's going to hop right in front of Malik, and Malik's going to jump right back down to the bottom. Kane Cook goes to the top there in that yellow and red number 3. Daniel Botafuco just ahead of those guys. Playoff driver running the top there. So these guys using the top a lot more early on in this run than I expected, and it looks like it's working out for a few of them.
Nice battle for P4. Kevin King, Michael Guest. Guest on the inside, Kevin King on the outside, 2 playoff drivers. Wrestling for as many points as they can get tonight. Even though Kevin King has not gone to victory lane this year. And oh, for the love of God.
Don't look.
Okay, nope, okay, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
Brian Anderson was getting excited for a standard fly ball to the warning track. Pulling a Tom McCarthy if I've ever seen it.
We
We're
apologize for all of our viewers. Actually wanted to watch the race. You'll hear Jacob throwing...
Oh, they're watching the race.
baseball
They're just
updates
not
no one
listening
cares
to the
about.
race.
Right. But last week's winner, Michael Guest. If you guys missed the race last week, Guest with one of the more impressive runs, I would say, to a win that we have seen in Las Vegas. So started pretty much from the pits, missed the start of the race, had to start nearly a lap down. Caught a caution early in the race, drove from last to first, and won the race in a photo finish with Wyatt Tinsley. I believe the margin of victory was, 2 1,000ths of a second or something crazy like that. So if you missed last week's race, it is on the VOD here on twitch.tv/FTF_GG. So after you're done watching this, go watch that. It's a good race, I promise. Jake is not talking about baseball the entire time, the whole time.
Correct, because the Phillies were playing that night.
Correct.
It's inconsiderate for FTF to schedule a race on Game 5 of the NLCS, but, we'll manage.
Hey, Jacob, what did you think of the call on Turner?
I was in the middle of typing that response, but I'll just say it out loud. Garbage call, garbage officiating the whole way through the NLCS, so I can't say I'm surprised.
Wow.
Since they've gone out to Arizona, it's gotten really bad. It's like the MLB just picked the worst umpires and not Angel Hernandez and just threw him out there for these series. It's horrific.
Teemu Toika loses a lap for all you Teemu fans out there.
That's a shame.
It's a shame. Jacob, the battle for the lead may be starting to heat up a little bit. Parker White leading this thing. No surprise there. It seems like he's led in every single race so far this season. Wyatt Tinsley trying to take it away from him. Looking to avenge his second place finish last week. You thought he won the race initially, Jacob. You said why?
Yes.
You started to say Wyatt Tinsley, and then you said didn't get it.
Yeah, I said Wyatt Tinsley on the live call as they crossed the line. To me, it looked like Wyatt just barely got him, but scoring disagreed. Gave the win instead to Michael Guest. Nonetheless, a fantastic finish. And like Sean said a little while ago, if you haven't seen the finish from last week, probably go back and do that. May be the finish of the year. And if you think that's going to happen next week when we go to Martinsville, good luck with that.
Place your bets now, by the way, for a number of cautions in that race. Do you think it's over under 15, Jacob? Are we putting we're putting the over under there, or do you think we should put it higher?
I was going to go 20. So
Oh boy. Just no faith
and I was going to take the over.
Oh man.
Well, last year it was 30-some cautions, correct? I did not witness it.
2 years ago, when Bottom Split was broadcasting FTF, and I was the lead commentator on that, I called the caution was out 34 times in that race. And that mark has yet to be topped or even approached in FTF competition since.
Well, there is a reason that I will not be in attendance next week, and it may or may not have something to do with the track of choice.
Thank you for relegating me to have that responsibility, Jacob. I appreciate you greatly.
I didn't know who was going to do it, but it doesn't help that I'll have schedule conflicts the next 2 weeks, so my next race will be the finale, but unfortunately, that's the way we got to draw it up.
Oh, boy. Malik Ray.
Hello! Kyle
What?
Schwarber. See ya. 3-0. Anyway, race cars.
About to say Malik is still hunting right now. He's got River Page. Hasn't been able to pass River. Been stuck behind him for a while now. Just past Kane Cook, who we saw Kane running that wall top lane earlier. And it looks like his tires might be starting to fade as Malik washes up the track a little bit into River. That was interesting. But he's going to somehow be able to stay alongside and maintain that side draft into 1. And here comes Lawson Peel behind them trying to go under Kane Cook. Yeah, I am just bitter because the Mets were tragic this year. Although I was realistic about my expectations for them.
You were?
I was. I said they're not going to make the playoffs because what they did in the offseason made no sense. And no one believed me until it happened.
Here comes Lawson Peel crossing back over on the River Page machine.
Actually pretty impressed by how fast Lawson's been. We saw Lawson up by the wall a lot in the early part of this run, and I say that, and I was about to say his tires look pretty good, and he gets a little wiggle coming off of 2, so he's going to have to fall in behind River, but everyone's kind of stalemating now at this point of the run, Jacob. Nothing really is going on side by side, or if it is, it's not for a long period of time, so this is pretty much completely the opposite of what we saw at Las Vegas. Last week, oh my goodness, River Page almost just flattened the wall off of 4. But last week at Vegas, we saw a lot of 3-wide racing consistently. It was actually a great race to watch from start to finish. But this week, it's, like I said, a lot of single file.
Yeah, maybe we should have gone back to Vegas.
Yeah, we should have.
Oh, boy.
How long can producer Zach be stuck on one car? There we go.
Mm-hmm.
We finally switched.
Yeah, don't just knock broadcasters for not paying attention.
That's Kevin McAdams he's focused on, by the way. Haven't talked much about Kevin. I hope we don't talk about him for the remainder of this race. Because he owns a bird. That's all I'll say about that.
There are 2 Philadelphia Phillies that have hit 5 home runs in a postseason series. Kyle Schwarber is one. Sean Butler, who is the other?
How recent was the other one?
You'll have to figure that out as old man Graham Bolin about crash Nate Stewart getting loose off the corner.
That is not Art Reimer. That is Graham Bolin in the 49.
Correct.
This week, the super sub.
Yep. I will give you a general hint. It's happened within the last 20 years.
I want to say it's Ryan Howard, but I'm probably wrong on that.
Right era, wrong guy. Chase Utley.
I do not like saying that name.
Yeah, in the 2009 World Series that they didn't even win. Stupid Yankees. Uh-oh. Harper. That landed in the same spot Schwarber's did. It's 4-0 Phillies.
Again, Trisha, he was not. I know you're watching the race, and I appreciate you watching the race, but we apologize for Jacob. What he says probably is going to have to do with the race today. So it's most likely going to be him reacting to.
If there's something on the racetrack, you will hear the words crash or trouble.
Back
Otherwise,
back at the front of the field here. Here we go. Wyatt Tinsley underneath Parker White, battle for the lead. Falkingham and Kevin King have been able to reel these guys in. Kevin King, one of the better tire savers out of everybody on the service. Wyatt Tinsley almost was clear off a turn 2 of Parker White. Look at this, side by side for the first 2 rows. Wyatt Tinsley's able to clear for the lead. Parker White going to fall into second. King and Falkingham side by side for third.
Ron Darling sounds like he's in shambles right now, the broadcast. But good battle up here at the front.
Don't you talk about Ron Darling in a negative way. I will not stand for it.
He might be the worst commentator I've heard so far, and we haven't even gotten to listening to John Smoltz yet. So
Goodness gracious. You said he was good the other day.
I don't recall that.
You did say that. So just because you have to listen to John Kruk all the time doesn't mean you have to bash
Kruk's
my
great.
commentators. Okay.
I will tell you this, though. Kevin Stocker, new to the radio booth this year, solid. Very, very solid. I like the trio in the playoffs of Fransky, Larry Anderson, and Stocker. Good balance. Good stuff. And then they bring T-Mac into the mix, and it just ruins the whole thing.
Zach, don't do that. Please don't do that. I told you not to go to Kevin again.
ESPN bottom line.
Look at Kevin McAdams, though, running that top lane, gets right to the back of Kane Cook. I mean, if anyone knows what to do with this setup, it's Kevin, because, you know, he made it, you would think. Blake Reynolds joining the battle for the lead, as is Michael Guest. So this race up at the front is getting a little juicier. Front 6 cars under a blanket. There you see Guest just going right up to the wall. Everyone running the same exact line except last week's winner.
The deal with T-Mac.
Oh, God, here we go.
Somebody asked about it, all right?
Yeah, I know.
I just... The guy can't call a game to save his life. Like,
wow, dude.
Fransky calls the game, and seldom does he ever make a mistake. T-Mac makes a home run sound like a routine fly ball, and he makes routine fly balls sound like it got hit out of the ballpark. So I just can't deal with them. And of course, they signed a multi-year extension with him until like 2032 or something stupid like that. So
was it the Yankees radio announcer called Giancarlo Stanton's ball as like being crushed at Fenway Park, and it was caught at the warning track?
Yep, I remember that.
That was good.
It's a nice little party up here at the front. It's a conga line.
I'm kind of
closing in on Wyatt Tinsley, and nobody's able to get by him. And as I say that, here comes Parker to the bottom.
Parker White to the front. Again. Jacob's been saying that all year.
Yeah.
Oh, and Kevin King.
Oh, boy. That got dicey.
Oh,
and
man.
he hits him again.
He's hitting him again. What a great car. You can just smash the rear end of somebody, and it doesn't affect them a whole lot.
Well, it hurt him more than anything, because Parker White's pulling away, and here comes Michael Guest and Blake Reynolds into the battle. It's a 5-car battle for second, and Parker White gets to scoot away again. 5 to go in the stage.
Looks like Parker kind of cooled his tires down a little bit behind behind Wyatt Tinsley, I should say, and he's going to try to scoot on away. Michael Guest and Blake Reynolds moving up to the top lane. Blake might have saved his tires a little bit better than the rest of these guys. We're looking to get himself a solid stage finish. A lot of yellow on the left-hand side of your screen there. All playoff drivers making up the front 13 positions, except for, what, 3? So yeah, a lot of... 9
in the top 10. Now, there are only 10 playoff drivers here. So...
Not to say.
Yeah. Because Mercurio is not here tonight, and Matthew Zwack is not here. Zwack going to be eliminated from the postseason contention.
I'm sure
he was already on the backside. Yeah. Well, I think he was happy that he was able to make it this far.
What a move by Blake.
We're in the buffer
Reynolds.
zone, and here comes Blake slicing and dicing his way toward the front as Kevin King and King of Falkingham drift backward here.
Interesting line Blake was running there in 1 and 2. Kind of threw it in there pretty hard, then kind of diamond the exit to get a straight exit. See what he does. He's going to run the wall here. Kevin King going to dive to the bottom. There you see now Zach's just moving cameras. I don't know how or who has access to these cars, but I don't know who slapped like 7 cameras on Blake's car, but he did the same thing with Malik's car last week. There's more cameras.
Yep.
Just all over this car. There's another
one. There
one.
you go. And another.
Zach calls that the Butler shot. There's another one. Why is this fire suit orange?
It's Star Wars.
Oh. Another one. How many cameras? Maybe if this car is being weighed down by all these cameras.
Spent our budget on Blake Reynolds' car, and that's it.
A nose camera, too?
Last lap of the stage number 1 right here as they hit the line. About as many cameras on Blake Reynolds' car as Fox wheels out to a NASCAR race anymore.
Is there a message you're trying to convey there, Jacob? Or
Yeah.
you have a grievance that you'd like to air out?
It's a shame that NASCAR's trying to include them in the next TV package deal. Their coverage sucks.
Parker White going to come off of turn 4 and win stage 1 by a healthy margin.
That's like his 23rd stage win on the year. Let me check, because I didn't have the sheet up ready to go at the end of the stage. That is his 25th stage win of 2023.
Yep, Trisha is happy. So again, if you're new to an FTF broadcast, FTF race, we do not stop. We do not throw a caution at the end of the stages, much like they should do in the real deal. We keep the run going.
Yeah, no break on the racetrack, but we're going to take a break on the broadcast. Parker White, your leader. Pit stops will be coming your way shortly here from Homestead. Parker White, your leader, stage 1 complete. All right, well, of course, I send us to break, and cars immediately start coming onto pit road like they were just waiting for us to go to commercial break. Daniel Botafuco is the first car, and he's in the wall! He's in the wall with Hawken! Championship implications off turn number 2. Caution is not out, now it's out, as the field comes flying by. The faster tires for Daniel Botafuco, and he crashes with Brandon Hawken coming off turn number 2. Both drivers with meatball flags, and both drivers part of the playoff picture. Huge.
Yikes. Wow. I'm running out of
trouble.
Running out of words for this. We need a replay, though. We got to see exactly what the heck happened here. So Botafuco on the new tires dives underneath.
Slides up.
Oh.
Yeah.
You need another angle of that. There might be dreaded netcode associated with that.
And if there is, I think that's still going to fall on Botafuco.
Oh, let's see. What a camera. There. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, a little.
A little bit. And that's enough.
See what they rule.
Yeah. A little bit is enough. Andy Margot, defending FTF most popular driver in the chat, says problems.
Yes.
Said it better myself, Andy.
Yep.
Man.
Racing deal between the two of them. Wyatt Tinsley gets the free pass. And now everybody that stayed out gets to come to pit road. Your race leader is Kane Cook. He has not stopped. Everybody else has visited the pit lane. Seth Knoll missed his pit box and just drove through the pit lane, so he's going to have to come back in. Parker White will win your race off of pit road, followed by Blake Reynolds, Kevin King, Daniel Falkingham, Michael P. Frisch.
Trisha asked, what is netcode? It is very hard to explain. But to my knowledge, these cars have hit boxes around them for when they make contact with the wall, contact with other vehicles, anything on the track. And when somebody's internet connection goes spotty for a second or is just inconsistent, the hitbox kind of moves a little bit around the cars. And if cars can kind of get too close, the hitboxes kind of are off a little bit and they make contact with the boxes, but it might not look like the cars are making contact with each other. It's just it's a really difficult thing to explain, really. I don't know what the exact definition of it is, but if usually when you're watching an iRacing race and you see two cars kind of crash each other and there's no contact made, but one of them just spins the other, we call that a netcode crash. So it is the best way I could possibly explain it, unless Jacob has another way.
No, that works for me.
Well, I guess I could have someone else do it. Kevin, I have a quick question for you.
Sure.
What would you say netcode is?
Netcode is when there's, I'd say, a variance in the contact patch between one car and another. So, like, for example, if two guys are side by side and they go into the corner and there's about 2 or 3 feet between them and they make contact, I would say that there is netcode there.
Okay.
Why do you ask?
Well, we kind of saw there was a bit of netcode in that crash between Buttafuoco and Brandon Hawken, and the chat was asking, what is netcode?
Oh.
And I thought I'd bring in an expert such as yourself to further explain it.
I'm not really an expert, but thanks.
Wow, okay. So how has the setup been for you guys? Do you think you nailed it? Could it be better? Is it
I think it could be a little bit tighter to start, but it's hard to really test the conditions unless I get, I made the track a little bit hotter than I initially tested to, so that's part of it. But I think it's fine. I wanted to make the high line a little bit more prevalent, but I really don't think you can really do that unless you completely change the track altogether. So I think it's the best we can get. The track has no grip, the car has no grip, and I think that allows some separation, which we did not have last week. So I think it's doing its job, but we'll see for the rest of the race.
All right, Kevin. Well, thanks for talking to us. Go get him out there.
Thank you.
We have breaking news in the college football world.
Okay, we're going green, Jacob.
24-point underdog Virginia upsets undefeated North Carolina.
We're green, Jacob.
Green flag.
There we go.
30 to go in stage 2. I was getting there. I had time. Calm down over there. And oh boy, they're not calmed down at the front.
Michael Guest going straight up to the wall again. A couple guys behind them doing the same thing. Daniel Falkingham doing the block on Guest's run down there, going into turn 3. This is all happening behind Parker White and Blake Reynolds.
Oh! Hard in the wall. Jack Mace into the wall and then immediately left, and that turns Sander Nyhoff around and into the outside wall.
What is
Jack
happening?
Mace snap overcorrected into the outside wall. He tried to leave the session before he collected anybody else. Instead, his ghost car bounced back down into Nyhoff, and Nyhoff gets the worst end of it. And Jack Mace is going to be in trouble.
Wow, what the heck happened there?
Yep.
We saw something similar to that happen multiple times at Vegas last week, where the back end just steps out. These guys try to overcorrect or try to correct it, and it just results in a massive overcorrect every single time. I'm not sure if that's the setup or the car, but that is strange to see. 4-0 after 6, by the way. Just want to keep everyone updated. See, Zach is producing and explaining what netcode is in the chat. So I don't know any other iRacing broadcast that will explain stuff that goes on during the race in the chat as well. So look at us. Can I talk to somebody else, Jacob?
Go for it.
Okay.
The Phillies are in commercial, so go for it.
All right. Hey, Blake.
Hey.
Hey, you're in second.
Yeah.
How are you driving?
I'm driving good. I thought I would hate this setup. It drives very wonky. There's hardly any fall off. But then there was more fall off than I thought. So that was fun. And then I figured out how to run the top, and I hope that doesn't go away. But knowing iRacing, that'll probably be gone for the rest of the race.
Wow. Wasn't the SimCar Penguin RC series here on the road course as well a few days ago?
It was, and it was on FTF GG.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, go click, if you're on Twitch right now, go to videos, past broadcasts, and it's probably either the previous broadcast or the one before. But after this race, of course.
Yeah, there you go. we don't want them to do it now. But did that race provide you any experience at all for this race?
You know, I think racing my Cadillac V-Series GTP on the boards here at Homestead in NASCAR 3 and 4 was perfect practice to do this. It did feel kind of wonky, especially if I tried to run the low side. So yeah, maybe.
So I guess I wanted to ask you about that top side. You mentioned that you hope it doesn't go away, but at the same time, would you feel it is more beneficial to stick on the bottom or run that top side during the course of the run?
Probably the bottom. The top wasn't killing my tires as bad as I thought it was going to be. Me and Guest were using it to defend from Kevin there. And then somehow I don't know if Guest let me go off of 4 there coming to the stage, but I got a nuts run off the bottom. I did a massive park entry and just floored off.
Wow.
And that did not kill my tires. So
that's a thing now again.
Yeah.
Wow.
For one lap probably. I don't know.
I've started Spider-Man today, by the way. I'm enjoying it so far.
Yeah, you like that intro?
I did, yes.
Intro was a lot of fun. Did not know that guy was going to be in the game.
No. But he is. And I'm glad he is, because they hinted at that in the last game.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, Blake, well, I'll let you get back to pacing. I know you got to focus a lot during this time, but I appreciate you talking to us as always, and please do not crash.
All right, we'll try. Just getting stage points out here and trying to advance to the next round.
I hear you, man. I'm pulling for you big time. I got a lot of money on you.
Okay. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Blake. Blake Reynolds, Jacob.
There you have it. Of course, his SimCar League just kicked off a couple nights ago. Right here at Homestead on the road course. We talked about the road course and how it was on the GNS schedule 2 years ago. I have the list now in front of me.
It's not, is it?
Unique racetracks to the schedule. So things that we really don't see here in Cup.
Right.
New Smyrna.
Ooh.
Mount Panorama.
Oh.
Twin Ring Motegi.
Ooh.
Kern County.
Okay.
Spa-Francorchamps.
That was on the schedule a couple of years ago.
South Boston.
That was too.
Milwaukee. Those 4 or 5 are all in a row. Motegi, Kern, Spa, South Boston, and Milwaukee. Long Beach, Homestead Oval, so not the road course. Hickory makes an appearance. Monza, the oval.
Oh. What in the world just happened there,
Uh-oh.
Bart?
Kevin King hit it. Kevin King hit the cone. Kevin
Parker
King's
White,
going to the back.
with an all-time fake of everybody, nearly wrecked Blake Reynolds. I think he almost went too far. Let's take a look here at Kevin. Again, you can't hit where the white line starts. So you can hit this one, but not the one coming up. Oh, yeah.
Yep. And he blames the 9 of Michael Guest waiting to the last second to make up his mind.
I have done that. I did that earlier in the year at Atlanta. And I got laughed at relentlessly in Derek Justice's stream for it.
Now, wait a second. So I'm confused now. I thought the single file counter thing didn't happen. I'm
green,
very
Jacob.
confused. Okay, Brandon Marsh just got a base hit. Lol. Green flag. Parker White leads us back. One more caution in the next 5 laps, and we go single file and ruin the rest of the race.
Allegedly.
Well, no, that's the way it is.
We'll see.
That's what the admins say.
Parker White gets away about a half second already, close to it. Blake Reynolds getting a big shove from Daniel Faulkner.
They are 4 wide.
Yes. Back between the Wallace boys. No, oh. Kane Cook is in the wall. River Page hits him. Oh, man. Alex Kolnix is screaming. There's our pole sitter, Wyatt Tinsley. He's way back there. He got back on the lead lap after losing a lap under the green flag stops. That was interesting. Jacob, there's a race happening.
Yeah, and there's I'm trying to find just something I can land on. There's too much going on between the chaos 3 wide in the back and then the side-by-side up toward the front. This is true. I did just see Brandon Marsh steal a base and the Diamondbacks pitcher throw this into the outfield. 4 wide again. Oh, River Page! Gee, why are we going 4 wide? We know that we need to make it 5 laps under green. Why are we going 4 wide?
As long as they're not
Settle
crashing.
down.
As long as they're not crashing, they're fine.
They're trying. They're checking up. Behind them. Oy. What a mess.
I think Kane Cook is trying to save tires on that top lane. I think he's determined to make it work. I don't think it is. And Kane Cook in the car on your screen, the yellow-red number 3. I don't think it's going to work out for him in this car. A little bit further ahead, though, we have an interesting battle developing. Kevin McAdams, Nate Stewart, Omar Diallo, Graham Bolin in that pink and green car for Art Reimer.
Cosman and Wyatt are going back and forth over the radio.
Cosman goes back and forth with a lot of drivers every week on the radio.
Yep. Yep.
Apparently, we can see what some drivers are seeing. Well, what drivers' webcams are seeing. We have one for this man, 35 of Brett Pancari, and the legendary Princess Daisy Peugeot. There he is. What is that? What does he have back there? What is that yellow suit?
I think that's a Daisy outfit.
Oh, well, he's got the Toronto Blue Jays t-shirt.
Yeah, how the Blue Jays doing?
Will you stop, Jacob?
Oh, Kane Cook is around. So is Josh Chin. He saves it. Cook is on the apron. Caution's out.
We got to go back to Brett in a little bit. I need to do some more investigating into his setup there.
We did make it 5 laps.
Well, we have more replays to watch.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens here. On board with Kane, running the bottom. Someone disappears in front of him. Josh Chin gets loose.
Yep.
Hip checks him. And into the wall goes Bush.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big wiggle out of Josh Chin. Josh saves it. Not much Kane can do. I'm sorry, Trish. I couldn't tell. Our monitor is a little bit smaller here in the booth, so I couldn't really tell what was going on in the room there. That's why I wanted another look at it. But she could correct me. It was a dress. So not a suit. It was a dress. I thought it was. I glanced. I thought it was a fire suit for some reason, but then I looked closer and it was indeed a dress. So my apologies. I stand corrected.
Aren't you sitting right now?
That is also true. I wish I did have a standing desk, though. That'd be nice.
It would be, especially for this.
It would.
Oh boy!
I have one at work.
All right. Well,
I can't take it home.
You may hear a man die on stream tonight.
Why?
Zach Wheeler will start the 7th inning with 92 pitches. They are warming up Jose Alvarado in the bullpen.
Oh boy!
Which tells me that one Craig Kimbrell is going to waltz his way out onto the mound and take a dump in the 9th inning for the 3rd straight night.
Brett.
Yes.
Hey.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, man. We just looked at your webcam, and I would like to take like another deep dive into everything you've got going on around there. So you got the VR, that's what you're known for here. You got your setup going. What else do we have in terms of decor back there?
Well, there's this DVD rack. It was actually from a store called CD Plus. It used to be around many years ago. And we got one of these shelves. Most of these DVDs are my brother's. They're not mine. I have my own rack in the back somewhere else. So that's that. That dress you probably see up there, that's the Princess Daisy costume. I'm going to be bringing that out pretty soon because Halloween's getting close. So I got this and a crown and gloves as well to go with that.
Prepared.
So that as well. There's a Blue Jays jersey hanging up as well. And I don't know, my cat might be still sleeping on the couch there. I don't know, but sometimes I just sit on my lap or mess up with the camera too. So there's that.
Jacob was talking a little bit of smack when I brought up the Blue Jays shirt. He says, "How are they doing right now?" While he's watching his Phillies just give up a home run to the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
Does it really matter to me? I had more fun in 2015, 2016. I don't care about his current iteration.
That is true. You guys, Jose Bautista's bat flip is the greatest thing I've ever seen on a baseball field, I think.
And I witnessed that. True. I witnessed that live on TV, so it was great.
Oh man, I'm very jealous that you got to witness that and be a fan there. But the cat is still on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like just a dark blob there, but that is a cat.
Yeah.
And the elephant in the room that Zach Johnson is wanting us to cover is that speed channel. Is that a sign or is that a flag? That's a flag up there.
On the ceiling, yeah, it's a speed channel flag. I don't know where someone found that. I don't know where they found that. So they have better F1 coverage than they do today. That's for sure.
I will agree with that, actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
the good old days of Bob Varsha. Yeah.
I was gonna say quickly regarding the race. I'm just more lucky to make the show now these days because I missed so many races. Like did not qualifies and missing races because I had to go away to Mountain Iron, Minnesota for work. And actually, I'm going to be missing the last 2 races of the year because I got to go away again to Mountain Iron for work training. So I'm just surviving right now, hoping for long runs. But the way most of these guys are, they're going to drive like psychotic maniacs, and I know that. So I just got to stay back here, maybe pull something out of the heck. So I only got 2 of the Fremont races left, and then my season will be over. So, and quickly, thanks CGR Graphics and also Peugeot. I'll let you guys get back to the podcast.
Brett, we appreciate you talking to us as always, man. Best of luck out there. Go get him.
All right, thanks.
Bryson Stott's going to win a Gold Glove. Holy crap, what a play at second base. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th, 4-1 Phillies. Green flag. Kevin McAdams is your race leader. Ryan Naraki is in second. Alex Kolonix is third. They're fanning out. with 14 to go in the stage.
Are you good now, Jacob?
Yes, the inning is over. This is 3 wide. This is not going to work.
How quick to assume you are, Jacob?
It's early.
It looks like they're making it work just fine.
Yeah.
Kevin McAdams, though, with a solid lead. Coming out of turn 4, Malik Ray still making moves there. Dives to the bottom. Looks like that's Austin Johnson.
Oh, and he's going to crash into no Rocky. And, yeah, big crash off turn number 2.
Rambolin, Cosman. Another one. Jonathan Goke is involved.
Yep. Nate Stewart may have gotten a piece of that on the right front of his race car. Wyatt Tinsley barely made it through that. Gonna need to check in with him.
Take a look.
Here's the... Yeah, that looks like to me the 37 comes down and draws the contact, and then
Nate
the 21
Stewart
just can't save it.
Yeah, Nate Stewart had something to do with that. He was involved in that as well.
Yep.
I do want to see another look, maybe from our chopper cam again if we can. So, I don't know. I guess...
Looking at the seam, it looked like Noraki came down.
Yeah, it looks like Noraki came down more than 21 came up.
Malik Ray was not involved in the crash, but he has parked the car.
He's
had enough.
He doesn't like it when they wreck a lot. So here's another look. Yeah,
he comes back down a good amount.
For sure. I would definitely say that is on the 37.
Graham's also parked it. Look at Wyatt Tinsley. Just sneak through that.
Clutch.
Playoff driver. Keeping his hopes alive.
It's on board with
Right
Wyatt.
on board.
Let's see what he sees. Contact between Lawson Peel and River Page there. Crash happens.
Get low, get low, get low. Oy!
You got a split second to make that decision, and he makes the right one. He's in the Coke Series for a reason.
This is true. So we're going to get a restart. Inside 10 to go. And Michael P. Frisch joins the program. Sean?
Frisch?
Yeah?
How you doing, man?
We could be doing better.
Why?
Well, I was supposed to go to Homestead today, and then I got a phone call at 9 o'clock. Some guy decided to take a box truck through a garage near the beach and proceeded... Yep. And proceed to take out a whole bunch of piping underneath the garage, and was there from 9 o'clock all the way to 7 o'clock today, so I couldn't go to the Homestead race, so I'm a little ticked, but...
Is that at least a lot of overtime for you, or...?
Yeah, I mean, the boss gave me cash on hand. Good old $500. So,
okay.
And then plus whatever hours I got during the day, so, almost... work good bit of money there, but no, it is what it is. Real life stuff happens, and sometimes you gotta be a superhero.
Okay.
Nah, I'm only kidding. They had to call the whole shop out there. There's like 20 guys out there. We're all working all day long, and yeah, it was a mess.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a very pleasant experience then, but speaking of messes, how about your race going on, man? You're outside the top 5. What the hell's going on?
Well, you see, you got a lot of good guys in front of me, like Parker White, Falkingham. But now I got guests behind me and a couple other guys and a couple guys on old tires here just to get some stage points. But we're going to try to power move and try to put ourselves in the top 3 here and get some stage points and maybe have a shot at the end. Just maybe.
You ever figure that if you qualify for more races and don't start from the pits every time, you would be in a better position to win more often?
I didn't start from the pits.
Exactly. That's the point I'm trying to make.
I almost sit there. But yeah, no, we got to work on our cube, man. We got to turn into a hot lapper because Contender's all about qualifying. So, we're going to try to qualify and try to change it up a little bit, change the mindset. So.
All right, well, I wish you the best of luck in this race, man. Really sorry you had to go work today instead of going to home. You could have said hi to Jordan Worth. You could have punched him for me.
No, I wouldn't have done that. We don't do those things in this household.
Okay.
Thank you for pulling me, boys.
Oh yeah, we'll pull you back down there, man. Go get him.
Thank you.
Thank you. I want to put him back in the wrong room, but I'm feeling generous today.
Here you have it. All right, set for the restart here. Oh, thank God. Jeff Hoffman is up in the bullpen now. Perhaps for the bottom of the 8th inning, so maybe they won't go ahead and put their best reliever and their worst reliever out there. We'll have 8 to go in stage 2. Green flag. Kevin's gone. Lane change. Sander Nyhoff. He's going to have to come to pit road. Black flag.
I'd like to take another look at that. If that's at all possible after this calms down. But pretty impressed with Kevin's speed. At this juncture, we got 2 guys way back up there. Jonathan Oates looked like it was not Lawson Peel, River Page, those 2 guys up there at the wall. But really impressed by Kevin McAdams right now, essentially in a must-win situation. Blake Reynolds dives underneath him for the lead. Kevin going to fend him off in that middle lane.
Needs all the points he can get. He would love to win the stage here. He'd love to also win the race and lock himself in. But he's got a lot of company behind him.
Hasn't won an FTF Cup Series championship since
Frisch!
The NR
Way
days.
up the hill. Well, before Daytona, at the end of the regular season, he hadn't won a race since 2020.
Wow. A little bit of FTF trivia. Who was the final FTF Cup Series champion on NASCAR Racing 2003 season before the switch to iRacing?
Trouble, back straightaway, car around. Justin Lisenby, cautions out. Turned off the bumper of River Page. And unfortunately, I think we're going to be...
Single file.
I think so. No contact with the wall for Lisenby, just the slide. But we will... That is not the stage end. We will have another go at it. It's on River Page. Here's the replay down the backstretch.
See.
We are now single file. Dying.
Yeah, what was... I guess River just trying to side draft there and just too much? Zach Novak is heartbroken in the Twitch chat right now. Sorry, Zach.
Yeah, he's unfortunately lived this life a couple of times in the series that rhymes with poke.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like Justin came down a little bit. I don't know. It might have...
Definitely this net code in there.
Let's take... I want to see this lane change as well for Sander. So, FTF has a rule where you cannot change lanes before the start-finish line, and classic example of what not to do. Sander clearly changes lanes before the start-finish line. Penalty warranted. Oh.
Yeah, he said the car was broke anyway, so... Yeah, so we are single file restarts the rest of the way.
I'd like to get a quick word with admin Justin Malillo if I can. Justin, we're single file for the rest of the way?
Yeah.
Are you excited?
No.
All right. Go get him.
Thanks, guys.
Justin is thrilled with what's happening right now.
Uh-huh.
I want to keep it short, sweet, and to the point with Justin. He's a busy man.
Yep. Yep.
Daniel Falkingham,
Hello.
you're running in second.
We are.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, we're having a good race so far. Kind of struggled a little bit on that first stage. I kind of wore out my tires a little bit, just not knowing really how I was going to handle, because I really didn't get a good read of how the fuel arm was going to be. So we done a little bit of adjusting since then, try to mess with the brake bias just to mess up my driving a little bit. And I think we're in a good spot to hopefully get the stage win, but it's only going to be a one-lap shootout. So we got to try to time this restart to see if we can get a stage win here. It's going to be hard to beat Kevin on this restart. But right now, good race so far to try to collect all those points to get us to the next round of the playoffs.
I was about to say adjustments. You only really have one that you can make in the car, but I guess that's where you were getting to. I apologize. Should have let you kind of get further into that. But
it's all good.
Yeah, you mentioned that it might be tough to pass Kevin. Are you saying that you might not have anything for him? I don't. I think you got a lot for him from what I've seen.
I think we can, but just probably like you saw Blake right there on that last restart trying to get around Kevin, and he got a little loose. I don't know if it was just cold tires or what, but he kind of struggled to get around him. So I don't know if I just got to wait a few more laps, wait for our tires to come in a little bit more and make a move on him. But passing overall, it's been kind of difficult right around like where I've been running. I don't know how it's been throughout the rest of the field, but passing seems to be a little difficult, and I don't think Kevin really doesn't have that many more laps on tires than us. So it's been a little bit of a struggle, but if we can get a little bit of a long run here, we might be able to get around them, but I'm going to try to push, see if we can go get that stage win. So we'll just have to see what happens here. It might be easier than I think. We'll just have to wait and see.
Jacob, shut up, dude.
Sorry, Daniel. Bad timing.
Oh, God. He's watching the Phillies game, and
it is 6-1 Phillies, 2-run blast.
Unbelievable.
And we're having a blast here on FTF.
I'm gonna
you're having a blast in second, Daniel, and
we are.
Good luck.
I'm going to get you out of here, Daniel, so you don't have to put up with Jacob anymore. So thanks for talking to us, Daniel. Good luck to you, man.
Thanks, fellas.
Appreciate it. So, Jacob, you got to really just let the interview go, dude. Like,
I thought he was done.
No.
I genuinely thought he was done.
No.
And as soon as I started talking, he kept going.
That's very rude.
Yeah.
Jacob Hitz, everybody.
Disgusting act by Jacob Hitz. All right, here we go. Restart. Single file.
Let's see if this helps. Probably not. People are out of line back there.
Well, then they're going to get a restart violation. One lap stage ender here at Homestead.
If I'm Kevin, I'm just running the wall here. Here comes Blake Reynolds underneath Falkingham for second. This is what Kevin wants to see. Parker White guessed way up to the wall back there. Kevin has to survive 2 more corners. He is golden. Falkingham's going to throw it in. I don't think he's going to be able to get there.
Gets alongside, can't hold it on the bottom. McAdams with the momentum. Off turn 4, green and white checker flag. To the inside at the line, it's Kevin.
Wow, that's big. Kevin says, all right, go ahead after winning the stage.
Oh, and he almost gets turned by Blake Reynolds. Oh, he is going to go. What a save, maybe. Yes.
How? Blake Reynolds is nuts. How in the world did he save that? That's another one, Zach, we need a replay on later.
Yep.
Preferably a hands cam, as they are thinking about 3 wide behind them.
Oh, they're thinking about crashing.
They've been thinking about it. They've been crashing the whole race. All right, well, that woke us up a little bit.
Yeah.
Driver we haven't really mentioned that much throughout this race. Omar Diallo in the 014 back there. Clears himself on Philip McCandless down the back straightaway. There he is in that white car, 14, but it's the 014. Started back in 28th. First time he's made his way into the top 10, so good run for Omar. Jacob, you could probably turn the game off now. Like,
nope.
It's probably
no lead is safe with Craig Kimbrell, and I really think they're going to send him out.
Okay. Who else would they send out? They can't send Taiwan Walker out as a starter.
Well, they could. There was talk that maybe they would send Suarez out. If they're feeling cocky.
I mean, he's come out of the bullpen before, so.
Well, they did that at the end of the NLCS last year, but they also, I don't think, used him as a starter. Or maybe they did, but I'm concerned about that because if they do that, they're off tomorrow. If they lose Monday, then who's going to start Game 7 Tuesday? So I would feel better if they would use him tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Monday night as a closer than if they would use him tonight. But it sounds like Jeff Hoffman's going to come out and pitch the bottom of the 8th. And he is on the mound right now, so who knows who they'll wheel out there for the bottom of the 9th. Parker White closing in on Daniel Falkingham for the lead. Now that we're done with stage 2.
Now that you're done talking baseball, at least for the next 10 minutes.
10 minutes is generous. I'd go 5.
It's very generous. But Parker, of course, been strong just like in every race this year, but very strong tonight. Knows his way around pretty much every track we've gone to that's on the calendar. Mentioned earlier, Jacob, about that series that rhymes with poke. Parker had a fantastic showing at the Chicago Street Course race. I was extremely impressed that he was able to hang with and give Bobby Zelensky a humongous run for his money. As everyone knows, Bobby, probably the best road course driver in stock cars in that series and on the whole service, really. And Parker gave him hell for the entire race. So that just goes to show the talent level of the driver in that 011. And I predict next year he's going to have one, maybe 2 wins in that series. We'll see. He's got some good setups underneath him coming into that season and a lot of good resources there. And I don't see any reason for that team not to be successful in that series. That's my 2 cents, Jacob. I know you didn't ask, but that's what I think.
Yeah.
You know what? He's an advocate for the 87s as well. He drives those things a lot. He's in Moon Car a bunch.
Yep.
Pretty darn good in those things, too.
Speaking of 87s, I sincerely hope, now that it's been a couple of months since it's happened, I sincerely hope that, the Firecracker 400 is back next year. I really enjoyed being a part of that.
Me
working
too.
with you and Kevin, as well as Schulthouse, Landon, and Parker. But I also hope that the old E-Racer folks are able to put something on before the season heats up again in February. I know there was rumblings after the Firecracker that they would like to do something, but of course, liking to do something and actually doing something are 2 completely different things. So.
That's very true. You are not wrong on that front at all, but that was extremely fun. And shout out to producer Zach. I don't do this a lot because he's just a tyrant up here. But I believe he broadcasted every single event in that whole race weekend. So Zach finally has a computer that won't explode on him whenever he does a broadcast. So
easy.
It's not going to now. He's
tonight may be the night.
It's not going to be the night. But that was really a lot of fun. I hope I get to A, drive in it, and B, up there it is.
On cue.
He had that sitting there. But I hope I get to drive in it and, dare I say, work with you guys again in it. As back to our regularly scheduled programming, there is a battle going on from 15th on back, or 14th on back, led by, surprisingly, Kevin King. He is sitting there in the 14th position with a wad of cars behind him. Zach, he's got a wad of cars behind Zach, there we go. Oh, now he's yelling at us.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yelling at us because he's trying to report an issue with another software. Unbelievable. Taking it out on us.
How dare he try to multitask in this?
See, all we do, we say one good thing about him, and this is what we get.
Yep. Oh man, is that
Cabrera.
David Cabrera in the wall.
Yep.
Wall arrow is not going to help there.
Nope.
It will help him here. Try to get alongside Nathan Rabideau, and that is Justin Lisenby. We saw take a spill in the backstretch not too long ago. Can we possibly get a roof cam for David, Zach? Is that too much to ask going into turn 3 here? No. Okay, let's see how close he can get to this wall. Again, the closer you get to it, the better. That's too close. That's too close. There was a day, there was a time in iRacing where that helped you. Just tap in the wall. Not anymore. Thank goodness. He is wearing out the right side of that race car. Just going right up to the wall. Staying up there.
It's going to have to stay after this race is done and repaint that wall.
There was a time when they did that. You hit it one too many times, you're going to have a bucket and a brush and have a golf cart, and here you go. Kevin King, I am surprised he is under this much pressure. He's got Paul Mikolajczyk in that 77 car breathing down his neck. He's not right now, but he's against the wall. But he will be after he gets this big old run off the corner. Jonathan Oates, speaking of the GNS series, in that 73 car, the defending GNS champion. He's not going to defend his title because his I rating's too high, but I just thought I'd bring that up. There's Jonathan. Nate Stewart in the chat says, Nate Stewart and the no good, very bad season.
Trouble. Nate Stewart is off the racetrack. 26 laps down after getting a piece of that crash. He's done after that.
Nothing really happening on the racetrack right now. Maybe a little battle back there with Paul Mikolajczyk and Seth Knoll. Maybe. But that's really the only thing going on. Here's Alex Kolonix in the iconic gold number 22 Ford Mustang. Would you call that scheme iconic, Jacob?
No.
No? Do you remember what he tried to...
not.
Do you remember what he tried to use when he tried to qualify for the World 600 earlier in the year? Just an absolute abomination of a paint scheme.
The only thing I remember about qualifying for that was the Jerry Nadeau-like car, the 25, slamming into the pit wall head-on, and the Viagra car crashing hard into the wall. Those are the two things I remember.
You don't remember the 34 Matt Kenseth base schemes that attempted to make a time in that race too?
I do remember that as well, now that you mention it.
Again, that is on YouTube, by the way. FTF _GG on YouTube. There's plenty of VODs on there.
Wait, is it there or is it on eRacer? Because we broadcasted that race on eRacer.
It was on eRacer. I believe it's on FTF, though, on YouTube. I could be wrong.
That's not confusing.
It's okay. It's what Zach does.
So we have an updated cut line based on stage points. Right now, this is without where they're running. So this is just with the stage points that they have collected. Daniel Buttafuoco is plus 33. Brandon Hawken is plus 10. Wyatt Tinsley is minus 10. Michael P. Frisch is minus 24. Kevin McAdams down 76 to the cutoff line. So Michael Frisch, he only got 12 stage points. So he is still pretty far back. Tinsley got 26 stage points, and he's only 10 back.
And Kevin, I said he was pretty much in a must-win scenario, and I stand by that because we saw he was only able to knock out, 20 points from his 90-point deficit or something. So he's got the tallest task ahead of him, but Frisch is clawing away at it. Back up at the front, Parker White, Daniel Falkingham for the lead. Falkingham going to let him have it.
can have it.
Okay.
Just hand it on over. Wyatt Tinsley in the mix, though. Yep. Got to be assertive. You know the deal. Just don't use...
F is for Falkingham, who falls into second place. I don't know.
Yeah. Just don't let them use Homestead Miami Speedway for land development.
Okay.
Like they did with Auto Club and Chicagoland. And
we already redid this track after what, 2000, what was it, 2003? Or am I way off?
No, you are correct.
Okay. This track, if you guys don't know, used to be flat.
Glorified Indianapolis Motor Speedway, if you would.
Oh, that was the first iteration of it.
The first iteration, yes, and then they turned it into flat with 2 corners instead of 4, and now this,
which I like. It's good in real life. Needs a little work in the game.
Yeah,
we're getting there. As you could tell, in real life, they would be all over the racetrack right now, but in the game, you're kind of relegated to what you're seeing right now. So just for the sake of the tires.
If this is how they race in real life, then we would need another hurricane to bear down on this racetrack and only this racetrack.
Jacob,
bulldoze it, let's start over.
Florida doesn't need any more hurricanes. As a Florida resident, no.
This is true.
Stop. Do not bring that energy to us.
We
don't need it.
Almost November.
You never know.
Done.
There's one out there right now.
This is true.
Zach, shut up. Don't laugh at that, Zach.
Zach's just out there throwing out random names.
He's hinting at 2004, time that I would not like to remember at all. Kevin King and Kevin McAdams exchanging positions. Kevin moves into 10th, and Kevin moves back to 11th. Good job by Kevin.
Kevin show. Yeah.
Who are we looking back out to? There we go.
Kevin King, and he's almost crashing Alex Kolonix.
He is still crashing Alex
Kolonix.
He
is going to crash him. Bump and run, the Homestead move.
Sure. Happens all the time here.
That's how it's supposed to work.
It's a shame that this track in-game races how Bristol should in real life, but oh well. We'll take another look. Alex Kolonix in the 22. Kevin King dives it underneath him, gets chopped a little bit, and Kevin's like, I don't have time for this. Get out of here. The bump and run executed to perfection by the wily veteran Kevin King. Kevin King has been sim racing for 57 years.
Wow.
He knows his way around a track.
Yep. 57. Yeah, you see right there his age. He's been doing
age
this for 57 years.
iRacing member since 2008. He's one of the original, but his legacy in sim racing goes back farther than that.
Yeah, back in the NR days.
Trishy has not raced for 57 years. That was an exaggeration on my part. A heavy one.
I was going to say, if anybody thinks that, number one, the internet existed 57 years ago, okay, hold on, pump the brakes now.
All right, Jacob. It was a joke. Relax.
By the way, there was no trouble with the snap.
Boy, that was interesting. Omar Diallo, Blake Reynolds nearly hooking each other there. Blake is not going to like that.
Alex Kolonix says he is pitting.
So we could potentially have our first round of green flag pit stops for this cycle. Whether those words are true or not, we will see. Oh, Kevin McAdams he was pitting too right in front of Kolonix.
Yeah, I don't think Kevin ever called it out.
I didn't hear him or see him do it.
Yeah. And that almost caused a crash because Kolonix about ran up the back of him, and he had to go wide.
Too far in the box for Alex Kolonix.
Double play from the Phillies. We go to the bottom of the ninth.
The game is over, Jacob.
No, it's not.
All right.
It's either going to be Michael Lorenzen or Sir Anthony Dominguez. It looks like Dominguez is going to get the nod for the ninth.
Really? They're not going to go to Michael Lorenzen?
I guess not.
All right.
Lorenzen did close out a game for them in the postseason. I don't remember if that was one of the early NLCS games or if that was against the Braves, but he did go out there and finish the job one night.
I'm watching a little further back in the field, Art Reimer and our buddy Brett Plancari, who we were just talking to earlier, duking it out for 27th. There's Brett and the Peugeot, the iconic Peugeot. He shouted out Peugeot in our interview when we talked to him.
Yep.
He races that in everything. He's another big 87 guy. He runs that there too, so... Art Reimer again in the 85 this week, as he's very loose off of turn 2. Rambolin running Art's usual number 49 this week.
Yep, Art Reimer running the Brian Zabelski number there. As you see the 20 pulling a Houdiniac there, Joseph Armstrong. Now you see me, now you don't.
David Cabrera still running up by the wall everywhere.
Yeah, that was dicey.
Nope. There's Cosmagnon shoeing that number 84 Sunoco machine on board with him now. He was involved in another one of those early wrecks, unfortunately. Currently being shown in the 24th position.
Once again, not a great night for driver 84.
He almost didn't run. He was saying, I'm done. I'm not running tonight. I'm not going to make it. Apparently we have cameras all over his car as well.
Well, he didn't make it on speed. He did have to use a provisional, but
that is
he did
correct.
Make the race.
I did, as we have a change for second up front. Michael Guest goes underneath Daniel Falkingham, takes over that spot. There's Omar Diallo passing Michael Frisch. That's for 5th. I did want to see if Zach had that saved by Blake Reynolds bookmarked, because I wanted to kind of go back to it. If he does, that'd be great. I don't remember, Zach. I'm sorry. I thought you had it. Okay. Well, we'll never see it again. We have failed as a broadcast team.
Unbelievable.
All right.
Oh, good news, Sean. Tuesday night, the National Basketball Association is back.
Go Magic. I will be at opening night.
We get to see
Wednesday
the
night.
Magic on the television on TNT and TBS with Ernie Johnson, Charles Barkley, Shaq, and Kenny Johnson.
Kenny the Jet Smith.
Whatever his name is.
You say Kenny Johnson?
I did just say Kenny Johnson.
That's unbelievable. As a sports commentator yourself.
Can you tell I don't watch them much?
That's a shame because they're really good. By the way, Zach, Blake Reynolds' save was on lap 81, and I looked it up. So
We're now on lap 116.
This is true, but he asked what lap it was on, and I provided him the information.
One pitch, one out from Dominguez. Dominguez fires, and this one's fouled.
Here we go. So it's in 1 and 2.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
So lap 81, Blake Reynolds to the inside of Kevin McAdams, gets hit, comes back up the track. Parker White had to avoid. I want to get an onboard from Blake if we can, Zach, and that's the last I'll ask you to look at this. So I want to see how the hands were working for Blake. Here we go. So look at this. Blake, known for his car control, opposite lock multiple times, still corralling it, and he keeps it going in traffic, mind you. What a
He's
job.
nuts.
He was in the Coke Series for a reason. Terry Murphy says, let's go Raptors. I don't know about
Wyatt Tinsley.
Wyatt Tinsley
pit
to the
road.
pits. First one of the leaders to come in.
Yep. Can't wait for the 76ers to disappoint me again.
That must be rough being a 76ers fan.
I use that term fan loosely. I start
Okay.
to care at the end of the regular season.
Michael Guest announces he's pitting. So it looks like, Jacob, we are firmly in our green flag pit stop window. Falkingham is in. Guest is in.
Oh, there's no way. There's no way Guest didn't speed.
Like Reynolds is in.
I can't believe he didn't get a black flag there.
Let's see what Parker does. So we saw Guest come in. We'll see if this prompts Parker to follow up.
He will not, but
No, not yet.
some people will. Kevin King will. Michael P. Frisch will.
Omar Diallo, he came in really hot.
Yeah, still not as bad as Guest. I thought Guest for sure sped, but he did not. Brandon Hawken is on the pit lane. Despite how difficult it is getting onto pit road, it's been pretty solid tonight from folks not speeding.
Now, how far does Parker White go? Because everyone we've talked to so far has mentioned how difficult it is to pass. He's still going to stay out there.
Well, and here's the deal. We are in the window where this is our last stop of the race, barring perhaps a late race caution if tires are a factor. By the way, 2 away, bottom of the ninth, the count zone 1.
Here we go. The game is
Parker
over.
White
Jacob.
trying not to strike out here like the Arizona Diamondbacks. He is pitting this time.
Okay.
Justin Lisenby, Kane Cook, David Brown, Josh Chin, Brett Pancari, Joseph Armstrong, Cosmin Jonas Shu, Scott Ricard, Art Reimer, Ryan Araki have yet to come onto pit road,
wow.
and here comes Parker.
Parker was right in front of Kevin McAdams on his pit entry. That was a close one. Parker makes his way in from the lead, gives it up to Justin Lisenby. He'll lead his first lap of the night. You can breathe, Jacob. It's going to be fine.
Yeah,
It's going to be A-okay.
just letting the broadcast breathe, that's all.
Well,
As Dominguez throws a pitch inside, it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Cosman's pitting this time.
Kane Cook is coming in from third.
The good news is, no matter the result, this is the last game that I'm going to have to see in the godforsaken state of Arizona as Dominguez walks the batter.
Cosman makes his way into the first pit stall. He's got the big Chungus pit sign. I didn't notice he had that.
Ken Cook also on the pit road. So 4 cars left. Lisenby, David L. Brown, Joseph Armstrong, Scott Ricard. Everybody else has stopped. And Kevin McAdams is cycling out to be your leader, but not for long. There you see Michael Guest right behind. That is for position, and eventually will be for the lead as David L. Brown's on the pit lane.
Do you think Kevin McAdams is chewing on a straw right now? He usually does that when he races.
I was going to say his cell phone. Remember we saw that.
That's what he
saw
broadcast.
that. Yes. So how about this? Daniel Botafuco will not outscore Brian Mercurio as long as Mercurio claims his last place provisional. So if Mercurio doesn't make it, Botafuco's definitely not making it. Here we go, provisional lead, grounder to Turner, and he's not going to get the throw in time. Are you kidding me? 2 on, 2 outs. Disgusting.
Michael Guest and Kevin McAdams, Jake. Trey Turner's nowhere involved in this race.
Not much Trey could do there. It was a grounder to the pitcher. It bounced off Dominguez's glove. If it didn't bounce off his glove, they would have gotten the out.
Okay. Here comes our leader, Justin Lisenby. Another one who took a spill on the back straightaway earlier in this race. He'll hand the lead over to Joseph Armstrong, who is yet to pit.
Ranger Suarez is warming up. Interesting. So is Matt Strom. And that's the end of the rope for Dominguez. So the baffling decisions of Rob Thompson continue. God, this team kills me sometimes.
Jacob, if they give up 5 runs with 2 outs in the 9th, which will not happen, you're fine.
Joseph Armstrong comes onto pit road. So that'll mean Guest will cycle out to the race lead here.
Daniel Falkingham, who we talked to earlier in the race, cycle back out to second. Wyatt Tinsley back up to third. Kevin McAdams will cycle into fourth, but lurking back there is Parker White, who has the freshest tires out of everybody in front of him. Kevin McAdams currently on 18 lap-old tires, and you're seeing that by the speed difference between everybody, him and everybody around him.
Yeah, him and Kolnick's running into the same issue. 40 laps to go. Michael Guest, your leader. We'll step aside, take our last break of the night, and hopefully the Phillies win it while we're away. Michael Guest, your leader. 40 laps to go in the round ender at Homestead. New
back
leader.
at Homestead.
Parker White, barely. Here comes Guest back to the bottom. It's a fight for the lead with 36 laps to go, Sean.
That was an inside joke during the break, by the way, so nobody would get that but us. But Parker White on the considerably old, or newer tires, I should say, was able to pass Michael Guest. As you guys saw, here he comes again, working the inside lane. But this is a heavyweight fight and a half between these two drivers this season. The two most dominant cars duking it out for the lead here at Homestead. Can Michael Guest fend off Parker White with older tires? It's a tall task, but we'll see if he's up for it.
You know how hard that inside line is to make a pass. Guest has the momentum on the high side. They're going to stay wheel to wheel just about even coming off turn number 2.
Parker going to try to throw it into turn 3. Guest able to use that middle lane's momentum. Daniel Falkingham just sitting back there saying, please wreck, guys, somehow, some way. Guest almost had him clear. Parker uses the side draft to keep him there, and we'll do it all over again.
Oh, watching up the racetrack.
Do we have any
Still
cameras
side by side
on these cars, Zach, that we could look at?
Oh, he's loose.
There we go. We had some in the budget. Let's take a look at Guest here. Back to Parker. He's going to clear him right here. That's impressive from Michael Guest on older tires. The longer he can keep Parker behind him, the faster the tires will equalize. So this is a benefit for Guest if he can keep that dirty air going to the nose of that 011. But fending off Parker White is no easy task here in anything, especially this FTF season. But if anyone can do it, it's Michael Guest.
There's a reason he's gone to victory lane 12 times this year.
Pretty good. Here's Wyatt Tinsley working the wall.
He is 5th all-time in FTF wins. Before the season started, he had 1 win.
Pretty good.
Phillies win. 6-1 final. Matt Strom delivers the final out. We'll see you in Philly on Monday night.
Thank you, Jacob.
Thank you, Sean, for dealing with this. And thanks to our
provide-
viewers as well. Now,
Providing the update.
we get to have a good battle here with 31 laps to go to finish the job here from Homestead. And the 2 drivers fighting for the lead right now are the only drivers that are locked into the next round.
Wow. You got to figure eventually the tires are going to get to Michael Guest, right? I mean, he's just sitting there in the middle lane, wearing the tires out more than Parker is running that bottom lane. You got to think it's only a matter of time if I'm Parker. So if I'm Parker, you just got to stay patient right now. Just keep him in that middle lane, and eventually it's going to work out. At the lap car, I believe that's Scotty Smith they're coming up to. And Scotty's going to stay way up the racetrack for them. But this is what we paid to see, Jacob, and none of us have paid to be here or anything. I'm just using the expression, but this battle's been worth the price of admission already. If they could run the last 30 laps like this, I would be amazed. Flabbergasted, even.
You got to think the tires would eventually work in Guest's favor here.
Guest is able to clear him again. So if I'm Parker
Inside,
White,
30 to go.
I got to figure maybe got to find somewhere else around him. He's loose off of turn 2. Here we go again. Daniel Falkingham still lurking back there. But Parker going to give it another shot. Throws it into 3. The Guest is going to be right there. Parker might be able to clear him.
Dirt tracking it.
Wow. Gets
What
it
a
done.
pass. Oh, and Guest really drives it in deep, trying to get him back. Oh, he hits him. Great save from Parker White. Meanwhile, Kevin McAdams is back on the pit lane. Was not going to make it to the end, more than likely, and has to bite the bullet and pit with 28 laps to go.
Well, that'll about do it for Kevin in this, pending a crazy series of events. But Guest is not giving up right now on Parker White, still right on the rear bumper of that 011. So really very impressed right now with Guest's ability, and he's going to try to get to the inside of Parker now.
Right on board with the Dave Blaney, basically. Parker White hit the wall. Michael Guest sends it in, slides up the racetrack. He has the lead by 2 car lengths, if not more. Falkingham clutching, trying to save fuel. Parker White the best on fuel right now. He doesn't have to save too much, and he goes back inside looking for the lead.
And both these guys are just so good. 2 very talented drivers here going at it. Parker loose again. We will see, though, Jacob, if fuel mileage comes into play. I mean, obviously, if Falkingham's doing it, he is very close on fuel. And let's see, Falkingham right now, he is on lap 23 of his run right now. So if he's clutching,
Lap is Guest.
Guest should be as well. He might be close. Wyatt Tinsley is right there. Blake Reynolds, Omar Diallo. So Parker may have set himself up the best out of all these guys by staying out those extra 3 laps.
Alex Kolnick's out there on the oldest tires right now and the oldest fuel. He's in 11th. It's been 35 laps since he was on pit road, so he's likely going to have to come back in similar to what Kevin just had to do. 24 to go when they hit the line.
It's going to be close. Yeah, we're on a very long green flag run after having a plethora of back-to-back cautions resulting in a single file restart. But since that restart, everybody has been a lot more tame. And Michael Guest looks like he's putting a little bit of ground on Parker White right now. Very interesting to see how this plays out. Parker to that middle lane gets the brunt of the dirty air these cars give off. Has to back out of it there. Man, two of the very best this season. Parker White and Michael Guest putting on a great show here at Homestead so far.
It was a slow night up to this point, but the racing has really caught on late in this race.
Complete opposite of how the racing was last week at Las Vegas, by the way. So,
right.
Oh, Parker going to keep it low or off the corner. Gets underneath Guest. Here we go again. Round 3, I think this is.
Guest around the outside. Holds on.
It just looks like that middle lane for Guest just provides more grip on exit than Parker has. Parker is able to drive underneath on the bottom there, get a lot of grip in the beginning in the center of the corner, but you see he just loses a lot of the momentum on exit as Guest is able to carry a lot more speed. So that's one thing Parker's going to have to figure out, is how can I just keep the momentum all the way through the corner. When you're running the bottom lane, it is so hard to do, especially here, because the track kind of flattens out on exit, and these cars like to get tail happy off the corners here, especially when you put too much throttle into it. He's going to have to do similar to what he did last time and kind of throw it into a corner and kind of slide job him. So we'll see just what Parker is trying to figure out here. But definitely tough to get by Guest, as Guest is able to fend him off once again.
20 laps to go. Parker White drives it in deep into turn number 1. And again, that middle line works for Guest. A little bobble from Parker White. He has to drop back in line.
On board with Daniel Falkingham. Are we clutching still? Yes. Yes, we are for Daniel Falkingham. Wow, he's not getting back into it until he's 3/4 of the way through the corner. And lifting way before corner entry, still on the clutch, still on it.
To the inside again, trying to squeeze. Lap car heading all rocky.
And this might be playing into Falkingham's hands, Jacob, because he's seeing these two guys just going hard for the lead here. He's able to save fuel and tires back there, just clutching. So look for Daniel Falkingham to be there at the end of this run if he can make it. But the question I'm trying to ask now is, we mentioned that Michael Guest is on the same tire strategy as Daniel Falkingham is. Is Guest clutching and racing like this too? If maybe we can get it on board from Guest and see, but like I'm curious to see if he's in the same boat. He is. Wow.
Huh. So
Michael
this is
Guest,
great racing with fuel mileage.
That's incredible. It takes
17
so much
go.
patience to clutch and fend off the best driver statistically this season for the lead late in a race. That's another level.
Remind me again why we moved the championship finale from here to Phoenix?
I don't know. Is Parker clutching? Parker is not. So we think, just as we were talking about, Jacob, Parker should be good on fuel. So he could press Guest right now. He can press him, maybe force him into a mistake or something. But the advantage is with Parker White right now. He's going to swing it to the top. I like that.
This could work. If he can get the car to stick up by the wall.
Switch it up a bit. Guest trying not to drive off. Parker didn't quite get a good exit.
This time back to the bottom.
Storylines abound in the last 20 laps of this thing. Can Michael Guest make it on fuel? Can Parker White make the pass? Can Daniel Falkingham make a last-ditch run at it? Tell you what, we haven't had to jump to any other battle but this one for the last 40 laps.
$15 to go. Your top 7, all playoff drivers. Plus Hawken back there in 9th. And again, here comes Guest. Rather White to the inside, trying to make the pass for the lead. Coming to 13 to go. This is the best chance he's had.
Is he going to clear him? He is. Here comes Kevin McAdams trying to get a lap back.
Oh, contact! McAdams on fresher tires. And Guest gets the lead back.
Wow. Kevin just says, excuse me, I'll just be on my way.
You guys? Or is he going to get in the way here?
He kind of is now. He's going to give Guest some dirty air that he doesn't need. Oh, there it is. Gets both of them a little bit tight. Alex Kolinick announces he's pitting.
Yep, so 47 laps is all he could go. Knowing that he was not going to make it to the end of the race on fuel, he cedes 13th spot to come visit pit road. Meanwhile, for the lead, 12 laps to go. Like a cat on Velcro, these top 2.
Parker is fighting that thing off the corner. He's trying to get everything he can out of those rear tires to try to get alongside Guest. Is he going to put the bumper to him? Maybe. So we've seen that happen a couple times. Parker able to keep it lower. Is he able to get a fender underneath? He isn't.
Just pushing him down the front straightaway.
Just pushing him, trying to make him run out of gas maybe. So I am curious to see if Guest is still clutching.
Look at how much Falkingham gained on that last lap.
I want to see if Falkingham is clutching too.
That last time by, he was 4/10 faster.
Oh, he's not clutching anymore. The gloves are
full
off.
Attack.
The gloves are off for Daniel Falkingham.
Look at the lap traffic party just up the road. We'll see if they have a factor in this as well. 10 to go here at Homestead.
Drama. Can this race please be the final race on the actual NASCAR calendar again? I don't know why we left. But Parker realizes now that Falkingham is here. Now he's got to go. But what's the saying in racing, Jacob? Catching him's one thing, passing him's another.
Especially in this car.
Yep. Applies here too. But Falkingham able to get such a great entry, middle of the corner. A good exit. Man, that 54 looks good at the end of this thing.
He's going to have a shot. 9 to go.
Oh, Guest gets a little tight. That's going to open the door for Parker.
Doesn't have the power.
Oh, who's that? What is? Who was that?
It's Jonathan Goat.
Get out of there, Goat.
Yeah, stay down there.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man. Buckingham about got into Parker White. Getting into turn number 3, and look at the gap now that Guest has created. 8 to go.
This is just what Guest wants to see. These two fighting it out. But Falkingham has to be smart with this. He's got to know that if he's going to make a pass on Parker, he's got to be able to do it quickly, because he's got to get past Parker and by Michael Guest, and that is not an easy task whatsoever. We'll see if he can get it done. He's saved enough fuel. He's saved enough tire. Let's see if he can put him to use. Parker gets loose. This is going to open the door for Falkingham to the outside. He's going to get him.
Daniel Falkingham takes over second.
Wow.
Now, can he get to the lead, or can those two fighting it out allow Parker White to get back into the picture? 7 laps to go.
Man, what a finish to the end of this race. Here comes Daniel Falkingham to the inside of Guest. He's got to be careful. Can he get this pass done quickly? Into 3, throws it in there. He is clear.
Guest got really loose. And Daniel Falkingham able to drive away by 3 car lengths.
Man.
With 6 laps to go.
What a job by Falkingham. We mentioned earlier in this run, while Parker White and Guest were duking it out for the lead, pay close attention to that 054, and here we are a handful of laps later. Daniel Falkingham P1, and he is driving away right now.
Eyes focused forward. Already opened it up to 0.4 of a second. That last lap, half a second faster than Michael Guest. Here comes Parker White again, looking for second. He's not going to get there. 5 to go.
What Falkingham wants to see, them to start battling behind. White's going to go to the outside, and the one thing that Daniel Falkingham does not want to see is a caution. These guys can keep it going. White's in the wall off of 2.
Try the outside, just didn't work.
Daniel Falkingham again is not locked in. He's currently plus 65 over the cut line coming into this race. I don't believe Daniel Falkingham has any wins this year, Jacob. Am I wrong when I say that? I know you're the stats guru here.
Won at Michigan, and that is it. He has 1 win on the year. It was that win at Michigan that officially locked him in, but he was able to pick up enough points anywhere where he didn't necessarily need to win in order to lock himself in. As here comes Parker White again, looking for second. And Kevin King may just be a little too far back there in 4th. He's a 1.5 back.
Parker White just, it's like Guest's car is a force field around it, and Parker White just can't get through it. He's been trying to pass Guest for the last 50 laps. And it has not worked. If we could look a little further back from these guys, though, Blake Reynolds, Wyatt Tinsley, and Michael Frisch are putting on a show here. That's for 5th. Wyatt is trying to work the top. Blake Reynolds is loose as heck in front of them, and Frisch is right there as well.
And this could be important as far as points. Tinsley and Frisch. Oh, trouble! Guest and Parker White make contact. They're both off course. They hang on. Michael Guest almost takes them all out. Kevin King takes over 2nd. Blake Reynolds takes over 3rd. Wyatt Tinsley 4th. And just like that, Guest and Parker White fall from 2nd and 3rd to 6th and 7th with the white flag in the wind.
Wow.
So now this is for 3rd between Tinsley and Blake Reynolds. Tinsley takes the spot away. We'll get a replay after the checkered flag. Daniel Falkingham into turn number 3. He is long gone. And the Interstate Batteries machine is all charged up to the round of 8. Gonna lock himself in. Doesn't have to worry about points. Daniel Falkingham wins at Homestead. punches his ticket to the round of 8 at the line. That's for 4th. Give it to Blake Reynolds by 1/1000th of a second over Michael P. Frisch.
Philip McCandless limping the number 7 back to a 18th place finish there. What a drama-filled last 20 laps of this race. 2 great races in a row, Jacob.
Wow.
All right, so
Let's take a look at the contact.
Was it another just trying to side draft it? Yeah.
I think it was. That angle's terrible. Let's see if we can get another one here.
Great save by both of those guys. Parker tries to side draft and got a little
Just
too
turned up
high
into
there.
it. Yeah. That wasn't netcode. That was just flat out contact. And oh my God.
Here comes everybody.
Yeah. That could have been a caution right before the white flag.
Now, when
no netcode.
When you side draft, sometimes the car getting side drafted.
Watch this.
Oh, that's Blake Reynolds threading the needle. But sometimes the car getting side drafted will kind of get sucked into the car performing the side drafting. It happens a lot at super speedways. That's why you see a lot of crashes on the straightaways in these cars. But wow, what a last third of this race. That was a drama-filled as ever. Very exciting to watch. Big congrats to Daniel Falkingham. Well-deserved burnouts on the front stretch.
Falkingham wins. Kevin King 2nd. Wyatt Tinsley 3rd. Blake Reynolds 4th. Michael P. Frisch barely 5th. Michael Guest 6th. Parker White 7th. Omar Diallo comes home with the top 10. Brandon Hawken 9th. We'll see if that's enough to get him into the round of 8. Seth Knoll finishes 10th.
Going through the next 10, Lawson Peel in 11th. Justin Lisenby, after leading a few laps, will finish 12th. Kane Cook 13th. David Brown 14th. Jonathan Oates 15th. Chris Wetz, Jonathan Oshalim, Philip McCandless, Timu Toika, a good little rebound after being the first caution of this race. He'll finish 19th. And Jacob Nathan Rabideau will round out the top 20.
21st tonight, Joseph Armstrong, Matt Spalding, 22nd, Brett Punkari, 23rd, Cosmin Yoneshu, 24th, Scott Ricard, 25th, Art Reimer, 26th, Kevin McAdams, 27th. He will not advance to the round of 8. Paul Mikolajczyk, 28th, Joshua Chin, 29th, 1 lap down, David Cabrera, 30th.
31st goes to Ryan Naraki. Jonathan Goke will finish 32nd, Scotty Smith, 33rd, Alex Kolonix, 34th, after having to make a last late pit stop. River Page, 35th. Austin Johnson, 36th. Sander Nyhoff, 37th. Super Sub Graham Bolin will finish 38th, 98 laps down. Nate Stewart, again in the no good, terrible, very bad season, as he put it, will finish 39th. Malik Ray, 40th. Last few, Jack Mace with that strange-looking wreck we saw earlier. He'll bring it home 41st. Devin Mistak, 42nd. And Daniel Buttafuoco will round out your active drivers for this one.
And he will not advance to the round of 8. Such a promising season for the young rookie. Came away with the win at Bristol to open the round of 16. But a 10th, a 22nd, and a 43rd will not be enough for Daniel Buttafuoco to advance. Let's talk with our race winner, one Daniel Falkingham. Well, that got interesting there at the end. Fuel mileage just able to outlast the two guys racing hard there in Guest and Parker White. Was that just your plan to super save and hope that you'd be able to beat those guys?
Yeah, I was trying to save a bit of fuel because I was a little bit worried I wasn't going to make it from where I pitted. And Parker, he was good to the end from where he pitted. So I went at a little bit of fuel save, just hanging behind Guest. Didn't want to be in that clean air. Just let him tow me around. And then Parker and Guest, they just got to racing. And I don't know if they just got their tires all heated up and stuff. But I don't know, because I was like clutching for most of that run. Just clutching on entry and then gradually getting back into the gas so I wouldn't like jerk the rear end around, because that's easy to do in the next gen. And I don't know if they just got their tires all fired up stuff from the way they were racing. Parker had a big old slide. They were beating, banging, trading paint, switching each lane and whatnot, slide jobbing each other. So, and I just let me just cool my tires down. And once I knew I had the gas, I decided to go a little bit harder and stuff. and I was ripping, man. Like we ran him down, we got the gas. We made a little contact going into 3, but I flew right by him, and then I was able to drive away. So don't know if it just kept my tires cool or whatnot, but I had some insane grip that last 10, 15 laps. So feels good to win Homestead, man. I've really come to think this can become one of my worst tracks for the last few years. I don't know why, but I think I'm starting to take a little bit of a liking to this place. So, but yeah, it feels good to win, man. And I know we are pretty good on points, but to get a win, take us to the round of 8, it's awesome.
So now we get to look ahead. You're obviously locked in to the next round. So we're now on our way to Martinsville, Phoenix, and Auto Club. 2 short tracks and a 2-mile oval. How do you think?
I like it. I love all 3 of those tracks. Martinsville and Phoenix, I feel like are pretty good tracks for me. I do love short tracks. And Auto Club, we ran 6th there earlier this year. So as long as we just stay out of trouble, trying to get ourselves in bad situations like we did in these first 2 rounds, if we can just have a clean race, get a lot of stage points, man, if we can just go win one of those races, we're off to the Final 4. So I'm feeling good about the next 3 weeks. Just got to stay out of trouble, just collect all those points like we've been doing, because there's now no more like playoff points. It's all just basically just where you finish in the stage, get all those stage points you can. So we're gonna do what we can, but I definitely have a feel we got pretty good momentum with us right now, and hopefully we can just go get a win at Martinsville, and so we don't have to worry about it.
Daniel, congratulations on the win. We'll see you next week at Martinsville.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Thank you all for broadcasting. Thanks to everyone who runs the show over here. And yeah, thanks to all my teammates at North Force. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys.
Daniel Falkingham, your winner tonight at Homestead. Now let's talk with our second place finisher. That's Kevin King. He's with Sean.
That's Washington Nationals fan Kevin King. Kevin, you with us? He is muted right now.
Uh-oh.
We'll wait for him.
All right.
We'll give him a
I
second.
do apologize.
Oh,
I'm so sorry. I was here.
Hey, Kevin.
Hey, man.
How you doing? It's been a while. I haven't talked to you in a minute.
Well, it's your fault. I think I finished well last race. Look at me now.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's why I was saying I didn't get a chance to talk to you last year. Jacob talked to you, but
oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I try, man. So speaking of running well again, you finished P2 in this with 5 to go. Did you think that this would even be a thing, being on the podium the way everyone was running up there, or were you just kind of hoping and clawing your way up to get the best finish you could?
If I'm completely honest with you, I did mention that there's a chance that I could still get the podium if they wrecked. I didn't really expect it, but I always thought there was a slight chance just because how the race was going and how the setup was and how the grooves started to end up and how fast they were. So a lot of combinations, not that they're dirty or anything. I just thought that, you drive it into the car length or quarter car length too deep, you slide up, and the way the tires were wore out, that there's a very good chance that could happen. So yeah, I did kind of think that would happen.
Well, that's good, man. I know you're very confident in yourself. You are you after all. You're a living legend in sim racing, so to speak. So it's
Jesus, so here we go.
it's very, very noble of you to say that. But
yeah.
Jacob is hinting at everybody that, hey, Martinsville is next. So as you know, that's
who am I wrecking? Is that who am I wrecking? Let me go down the list. Hold on.
No, if you have a list, if you could tell us.
There's nobody that I would go after. I mean, everyone's raced me clean, so no, I don't. If I hit someone, it's just because it's Martinsville, not because I hate them or want to hit them for any reason. But yeah, I think other people definitely will use that as an excuse. So that'll be exciting. I can't wait to be collected in that potentially. So that'll be fun.
That's a very loose use of the word fun. I think everyone loves.
I hope we go single file. And I hope the leader starts right in behind the guy in last, and then it causes a huge wreck.
Oh God, it's going to happen. It's guaranteed. One last thing before I let you go. How sick are you to be seeing the Phillies doing as well as they are right now, and having to listen to Jacob Hitz brag about it constantly is destroying me inside.
Well, the thing is, the Mets suck, right? But deservingly so, because they have the second highest payroll. So I basically look at it as this, right? As a Nationals fan, we put out AA team and finish as such. But the Phillies, as much money as they spent, they still took national players, right? They still took the Trey. They still took Sherbies, I should say. I'm sorry. And then, of course, Bryce. So technically all the people that are doing well are basically national players, so they should actually thank us. But yeah, if you spend $500 million on payroll, the expectation I think is that you at least get to this point, right? So whatever.
I just now thought of that, actually. Yeah, they're pretty much the Washington Nationals right now.
And we thank you for your sacrifice. And
the thing is we did it with much less, and we did it sooner.
Yes.
So
against a cheating team.
Against a cheating team, grand fashion. Are they winning the playoffs or something? Did they win?
Yeah, they won tonight. If you rewatch the broadcast, Jacob is just providing updates.
But they're not all the way there, right?
Not yet.
Yeah, they're just one away. Yeah, go D-backs. Let's go D-backs.
Oh, come on. Oh, you have
Let's
me
go
and then you do that to
D-backs.
me.
No.
Unbelievable.
There you go.
There's three players that I want people to do well. The rest of them can just go pound sand for all bucks. But anyways, I appreciate you, Sean. Wish you were in this race. You could have felt the pain that I felt driving this thing, but I do appreciate Kevin McAdams for doing it. Definitely a setup for the ages. I'm glad to get second. Hell yeah, let's go.
Excellent job, Kevin. Appreciate talking to you as always, man. Go get him at Martinsville, okay?
Sure. Bye.
Bye. That's Kevin King, P2 in this one, and we'll round out our interviews here with P3. Wyatt Tinsley, he's with Jacob. Jacob.
I can't wait for Bryce Harper to hit a home run at the National Stadium next year. Every game. Here's Wyatt Tinsley joining the program. He comes home third tonight. He got there because of contact between Michael Guest and Parker White, but a really fast car, and with your back against the wall, you're able to advance to the round of 8.
Yeah, just glad I advanced after that. It was a race and a half. I tried to undercut, and I think I undercut because would have been great, I feel like. But then Daniel Buttafuoco wrecked in front of me, which unfortunately got right hooked into the wall. Missed a couple of wrecks and was able to drive through the field back up to third or something. And of course, I didn't look down at my fueling because I forgot that fuel existed in this car. And I had to pit a lap too early and had to save a bunch of fuel. I don't know if you were watching, I was trying some different stuff. Speaking of Dan, that one, I literally just sit in the corner and clutched and tried to scare him and see what he would do. And it was pretty funny. Anywho, it was a great race. We'll be back. I don't even know what the next track is.
Martinsville.
Oh God.
Bingo.
If we can't race cleanly here, then why are we going to Martinsville? All right.
Well,
hopefully we maybe we can run the top lane at Martinsville to set up persist. What do you think?
Chastain line.
Probably not.
Nah, I feel like if I even touch the wall, they'll ban me. So.
Factual statement. All right.
Well, I appreciate y'all. Thanks for sticking it out. You and
best of luck.
Hope Caleb comes back. Now I feel like he's skipping out on us this week.
Caleb, I think, will be back next week, and then of course I will be out the next 3 weeks. So
really, you're not gonna be here for the championship race?
I will be here for Atlanta, and that is it. I will not make Martinsville next week for my own sanity, and then I am physically unable to be here for Phoenix and Auto Club.
He's on the pup list for the next couple of weeks.
All right, well, hopefully we can just win one of those races advance, because honestly, I don't even know what was going on in that race. But well, if you follow the pro side, make sure you come watch the Contender Series race on Tuesday at 8 p.m. It's at 8 p.m. now. Me personally, I'm all right with the call because the races get done at 9:30, and I already have more time instead of 10:30. So, lovely stuff. But yeah, come watch per race on Tuesday. I don't know where I'm gonna end up. Last week we ended up 5th. I missed out by Briar by a couple thousands, but it's all good. Anyway, you have a blessed night, and thanks for Thanks for commentating, of course, Jacob and Sean.
No problem, man. Thank you for being here, Wyatt.
You have a blessed night.
Wyatt Tinsley coming home P3 tonight at Homestead. Can we show the points? Do we have the technology?
Bill?
Justin has submitted the points. One moment. Imagine not setting that up while Wyatt Tinsley was doing his interview. Okay. Well, Parker White advances. We knew that. Michael Guest advances. We knew that. Daniel Falkingham advances. We knew that. The other drivers that advance are Blake Reynolds, Kevin King,
Hastily
Michael
thrown
Guest,
together.
obviously. Yeah, Wyatt Tinsley, Brandon Hawken, Michael P. Frisch in by 73 points. Daniel Buttafuoco, Brian Mercurio, Kevin McAdams, Matthew Zwack are out. Of course, Zwack missed tonight. So did Mercurio. Mercurio would have been close, but not close enough. Buttafuoco involved in that crash with Brandon Hawken. So Hawken just sneaks in. Buttafuoco does not. And he will not fight for a championship for the remainder of the season. Well, let's see. Phillies won. USC lost again. Penn State lost, but we saw that coming. And a solid race here tonight for FTF. So all things considered, a pretty good day.
For the love of God, please don't let any games be going on during Martinsville. And please don't let Jacob just be reporting in remotely in the chat.
Well, you're going to have college
race.
football on. You're going to have college football on next week, and let me just see what the primetime game is going to be next week. If that's
all right,
even
everybody.
up to
Thank you very much
date.
for joining us. For Jacob Hitz, Zach Johnson, I'm
Yeah,
Sean Butler.
so
we'll see you next week at Martinsville.
God, it's Colorado at UCLA. I think I'll pass.
Good night,
that.
everybody.
Yeah. We'll
Thanks for being
see you
here.
at Martinsville. Daniel Falkingham, your winner. He's moving on to the round of 8.